What's going on, everyone? It's time for another film review. Today we're going to talk about a South Korean thriller called I Saw the Devil. At least I believe it's South Korean. I could be wrong on that. It was released by Magnet Pictures August 12th, 2010, and stars Lee Byung-ho and Choi Min-sik. It was written and directed. It was produced by Kim Him-woon and written and directed by Kim Tae-woon, who's done films like Cobweb, and the bad, the weird, bittersweet life, and the age of Sheaves was at a budget of $6 million. Now this is a 2.5 hour thriller. It's about a young cop detective goes and he gets assigned to investigate a murder, and he's looking into it. But then his like fiance gets like brutally murdered and dismembered, and he has to go and figure out who's done it and take revenge on the killer. Um, yeah, this film has a basic simple idea, but they really expand it to something more intriguing and visceral. Yeah, the characters in this are very well done and very creative in their development stuff. You really get to feel the sadness and despair of the cop who's lost a loved one and wants to take revenge, pretty much like any revenge story. And but they also let you get to know the killer really well and stuff, because it's like 45 minutes in, you already see him meet the killer, and it kind of throws you for a loop at first, because it's like, okay, what are they going to do for the next one? Well, this one's brutal. This guy basically tortures him. He'll break his hand or something like that and leave him and see if he does it again. And if he does it again, he hunts him down again and does something more brutal, and it just escalates and escalates and escalates throughout the story. It's very dark and very well put together. Overall, the special effects in this are so well done. Like when he's like torturing the guy and stuff like that, it is very well done. The camera does not shy away or look away at the brutality of what's going on, and it gets really really intense in some scenes. Um, it does have like a lull in the middle where it takes a while for the setup for the second half of the film, which kind of drags and stuff. But overall, I thought this film was really well shot, really well acted, and like the special effects and cinematography and all that was all really well done. Yeah, especially with seeing with the dismembered head, it looks so real and mm, like disturbing in a disturbing way, and just how it depicts on how like people perceive serial killers. That's how it's just like people are intrigued by it, but then also there's also the dark side of what's going on and how some people want to react to it and how we actually react to it and stuff. It looks at all those aspects, and overall I thought it was a very well done, clever film. And that yeah, there is some throwaway characters in here though that didn't really need to be in it, and the ending is not your normal ending, but it was a little disappointing. So yeah, you want to see him get revenge, but then other things happen, and which makes sense, and but both in the same way it still works. So overall, I thought this film was pretty good, and overall I really enjoyed it. So I'm gonna give I Saw the Devil a 3.5 out of 5. I thought it was pretty decent, and overall you should definitely check it out. I'm not sure where it's streaming. I think it might be on Shudder still, but it might not be. But yeah, I'll at least link the trailer down below so you can see what I'm talking about down there. But also make sure you check out my Instagram, as well as post clips of films and review in the future on my story. I usually have the film title hashtags, I'm Sean Film, and hashtags so you're aware of it. Also my letterbox down below, Derek P Reviews. That's where I post my first star rating right after watching the films. And my um Twitter's down below, reviews underscore Derek. Follow me on those platforms. Stay looped with this channel. Like this video, share some more people aware of it. Comment your opinions of the film down below if you have any. If you have any films or film franchises in any genre and on any streaming service that you want to hear my opinions on in the future, comment those down below too. I'll try my best to get to them as soon as I can, and if I can find them, make sure you subscribe. Hopefully, something weird, obscure, and odd they brought. Never thought of checking out together. And also, your opinions on popular films, some come out classic films, and reviews on other things as well. and don't forget to ring that bell because we're going to talk about a more modern horror thriller called Don't Hang Up in the next review. So make sure you tune in for that. And yeah, watch out for all those killers killing out off our loved ones. Maybe take revenge on them. And I guess I'll see you all in the next one. So until then, cheers.